Ever spent 10 minutes scrolling through rows of data just to find one price, one name, or one number? You copy, you filter, you search, and still feel lost in a jungle of cells. It's exhausting. But do you know there's a better way? Well, there is, and it's called VLOOKUP. Welcome back to another episode of Excel. I am your host, Nav. In the last video, we learned how to create a drop-down list in Excel with input message and error alerts. If you have not watched that video yet, please go and watch, because we will be using the same example for VLOOKUP function today. And if you find these tutorials useful, please hit the subscribe button as well, if you haven't already. Now let's learn how to use VLOOKUP function. We created a product drop-down list in the last episode, which you can see on our dashboard. We have our product list and price for each product in product list sheet. And then we have our sales data, which represents each sale that has taken place in the month of January. Let's say your manager has asked you to insert the following metrics on the dashboard: price per unit, units sold, and product sales. Let's implement VLOOKUP function to get this data. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, and the way it works is you give it a lookup value, and then select a range which is what's called table array in this function. Then give it a column index number depending on the information you are after. For example, in product list sheet, if you want Excel to return price for each product and you have selected first two columns as your table array, then your column index number is 2. And last, range lookup argument gives you flexibility to decide if you want an exact match or not. In most of the cases, you would want exact match. Let's implement it now. Now, click on cell C9 and type equal VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, and then in the lookup value argument, select cell C8, because we will be looking for the product name, and then if VLOOKUP finds it in the table array, then we can direct it to return any information in any columns next to this product. Let's make cell C8 an absolute reference. Now press comma and select column A and B on product list. In column A, we have our product names, and in column B, we have prices for each of those products. Now press comma, and since we want the Excel to return price per unit if it finds a match for our product, so type 2 in column index number argument, press comma, and now in the end, type false as we want the exact match. Now close the parenthesis and press enter. There you have it. Now try selecting different products from the drop-down list and see if it updates automatically or not. And see it is working like magic. You will never have to look for price information manually now. However, there is a catch. Since we had to put the column number manually in the function, it might be difficult to keep track of columns if you are dealing with a wider dataset that contains hundreds of columns. So it might be worth putting a column sequence on top if you are going to use VLOOKUP heavily. But don't worry, there is a more advanced and easier lookup function in the market now, which we will cover later. Coming back to the dashboard, we need to find the number of units sold, and product sales as well. We cannot use VLOOKUP here, because in the sales data sheet, we have multiple entries for the same product, and VLOOKUP will get confused as to which one to pick up. And we don't want that. That's why I always say, knowing which function to use and when is what makes you smarter. We will use SUMIF function to get the units sold numbers and product sales. In cell C10 type equal, SUMIF, open parenthesis, and then in the sales data sheet select product column. In the criteria we'll simply select cell C8 on the dashboard and make an absolute reference. Now in the sum range we want number of units sold. We will select number of items sold column and then close the parenthesis and press enter. We have our total sales for selected product. Now I will copy-paste the function to cell C11 and then change the sum range to column E, which is our sales amount. Now if you choose a different product from the drop-down list, every information should update automatically. Look at that! You made it! It was not that hard, was it? That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Comment if there is anything I can help you with. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe button so that you don't miss my daily updates. I will see you in the next video.